Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. We're now in the latter stage of May 2022 and as you will know if you've been following the mainstream news, the economy both in the Western world and especially in America is getting pretty shitty with the sanctions boomeranging back and hitting the Western leaders smack in the face. Now also what's not been reported so much in the Western media is that the fact that the Western establishments and government bodies are starting to realise that feminism has having a negative effect on women in the United States, and it, as a consequence the United States economy is starting to suffer. So looking around I found this. As you can see it's from US News and this was dated 4th of March 2011 or early last year. Now this gives a warning sign that things are going to get bad in America, as the warning signs were no doubt appearing all over in the right circles as to why feminism is having a negative effect on American women. As you can see, the title is 5 Ways Feminism Has Ruined America. It's a book that was written called The Flip Side of Feminism, with a new view of women in America. Now scrolling down, it's the 5 are, it hurt marriage, women want to wait so they can keep their identities longer, and men are finding easy sex taking away a big reason for marriage, and undermines child rearing, as you know lots of children in single parents in America. It's a 2-income trap for those who actually are married. That's also happening here in Britain, and undermines college sports. We've got even worse with these sexual oddballs, i.e. guys that think they're women, competing in women's sports, and it emasculates men. Now, they didn't expect MGTOW to come from that, so it's a case of you reaping what you sow, and feminism has sown discord in America, and that's why it's ruining the American economy and to a large extent the American society. Now this hasn't translated down into Brazil yet, as I found this. It's a thing called Campari, and unless you understand Portuguese I have no idea what that says. But it says 2022, a decisive year radicalising feminism, transforming Brazil. And it says this year will be decisive for women and social movements in general in Brazil. A year of struggles, critical for us to say no to neoliberalism. That must be the Brazilian word for the hierarchy. To authoritarianism, to denialism, and to develop and state what the country we want to live in will look like. Now this is also a long article. It's about conservative characters, many of the working class, women and black, indigenous and the alphabet people. And if you go down, another partner in Portuguese, and that's it. Now back in America, you've also got trouble in the feminist camp, as I found this in The Guardian. Hell of a scary time leading US feminists on the threat of the Roe versus Wade case. US abortion rights in jeopardy. And it says, US was shaken earlier this week by news of Roe versus Wade, the ruling that gives American women a constitutional protected right to safe and legal abortion could be overturned. In other words, the women don't like the idea that it would be illegal to murder unborn life in their bodies. If they were more ladylike and not sleeping around so much, they wouldn't end up getting pregnant. After all, there's more than enough contraception available to American women. So this is just a effect that feminists didn't anticipate happening, but then the article goes, leading US women's rights and scholars tell us how they feel about the news. and then they've just got each of them giving their 2 cents worth. Not that it'll make much difference, because the US Supreme Court has said that it's not going to happen, and that's more or less the end of it. I've never heard of any of those women, except the coloured lady, that one. She was on Question Time over here in Britain quite a while ago. Now, what's this to do with guys? I also found this from Time magazine, under the title US Economy. This was written on the 5th of October last year, or about 6 months ago. It says, men are more likely to be single than women. It's not a good sign. I might have covered this article before, but I don't recall. And it says, single women meanwhile earn the same as they did 30 years ago, but those with partners have increased their earnings by 50%. The old wage gap myth. And if you scroll down, it says, in 1990, 71% of folks from the age of 25 to 54, which are considered the prime working years, bearing that in mind, had a partner married or lived with. In 2019, only 62% did. Now, that could be the effect of MGTOW. And if you go down, the number of older single people is also much higher than it was in 1990, from a quarter of 40-54-year-olds to almost a third in 2019. That could also be an effect of MGTOW. And among those 40 to 54 years old, 1 in 5 men live with a parent. Well, they could be looking after the parents, carers in other words. Now, bear that age group in mind in this, the prime working age. Looking around, I found this. What is the average age of a MGTOW man? Now, this guy, Chelsea Pope, says the sweet spot seems to be 45, which is long enough to see the harmful effects of gynocentrism and feminists on men's lives, and still young enough to be open to researching a new topic. And Chesterfield says, speaking to fellow MGTOWs, it seems a split between men in their early 20s and men in their 30s and 40s. Now, if you go back, you see that the prime working age is 25 to 54. So this seems to be the age that guys are going MGTOW, which is the prime age. Now, this will also affect feminism, because if you scroll down there, undermined 2 trapped families, husband and wife working hard life luxuries, and undermines child rearing. Well, if guys are going their own way, they won't be having children, so those two are knocked out the ballpark. And also the major thing, it hurts marriage. Now, if you scroll down, where is it? It's on there. It says about the jewelry shops closing, and wedding cake manufacturers also closing, and they're only making wedding cakes for homosexual marriages. And also, you can also put in the bridal gown shops also closing. And it all boils down to 5 ways feminism has ruined America. It's also having a sort of effect over here in Britain and Europe, but mostly it's in America. And if America goes down, then European feminists will also follow suit, because Americans seem to be the bedrock of feminism. Feminism is gaining ground in Brazil, but then Brazil has yet to experience the pain of America going down with these 5 things that's happened. But anyway, we won't go back. That means the ladies won't go back to the way it was, but they're in for a scary time. as the Roe versus Wade and the abortion ruling from the US Supreme Court is going to affect them for generations to come. But anyway, what's this to do with guys? There might be more men than single, but it's a good sign for guys, as we know that this is going to affect America more than MGTOW is. I think we're on the 10-minute mark now. Sorry it's a bit patchy this week, people, but I didn't find all that much. I might do something different next week, but for now that's it for this one. You know all the routine. Thank you for listening, and comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, all the usual stuff. It's completely up to you. So till next Monday, that's it. Bye bye.